Well, guys, how's everything going? I know I'm certainly doing okay. I've got a bit of a slightly congested voice today, but other than that, I feel fine. I'm alright, which means my body is working, which is good news. I'm very torn between having cereal or toast. I am so very freaking torn up between having cereal or toast. God, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I think these containers away. God. I've decided to do an outing to Helensvale Shopping Centre tomorrow. Because I don't have a lot of money. Oh shit, I need to ring up bloody Vodafone and extend that fucking bill as well. Shit, I need to do that. I need to. I don't have a choice anymore. I have to extend that stinking bill. Oh god, I've got heaps of stuff to put away. Yeah, damn, I'm going to ring up Vodafone later because I've got plenty of time to do it. I just have to do it today because the bill is coming out on the 28th. And if I can extend it to next Tuesday, I'll have heaps of money. That money will come out then. And I won't need to fucking worry about the bill till when, a new one will be generated every 11th of each month. And then it gets paid on the 28th of each month. So, yeah. So yeah, if I organise that shit now, then that's one less problem I have to think about later. Fucking fine. It's one thing I hate about having, well, I don't hate cleaners. I just hate having to explain to everybody, please, I might have Milo and ice cream for dinner. I have to be like, please don't put things where I can't find the fucking things later. Like to put them where I can find them. Oh well, whatever. Got this container ready for anything, and I have to wash that cooling rack as well, just for appearances, I think, just to say that I'm keeping the unit clean. I can do that by tonight. I can do that any old time. Might have a big mug of coffee myself, actually. Yes. So yeah, I'm trying to save up lots of money so I can organise a day trip to Surfers Paradise, but then I also have to buy bloody clothes, but that'll get sorted out eventually. Get this dishwater ready to go because I want to have it ready for when I do my dishes soon, because the sink is filling up again. So yeah, hang on. Got to get this jug ready. Okay, getting the jug filled up and the dishes ready. So yeah, I'm very torn between having toast and having cereal. I might end up having cereal in the end. But now that I've got YouTube and recording and that working, I'll be able to do recordings tomorrow, which will be good with my outings and that. Oh, I keep sneezing. Shit. Oh, fuck. Okay. Now I get to turn that jug off in a second. Turn the tap off for the jug. Yeah. And then I'm gonna set it up ready to boil. I'm going to set it up ready to boil. Okay, then I'm gonna get my dishes ready to do. I forgot all about that, and then I have to, oh yeah, that's right, oh crap, yeah, it's been on leave, oh, I totally forgot about me. So, got rid of that rubbish. Oh God. Oh, this is stuff to clean up. Lots. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with breakfast today. Do not know. I have to clean up all those bloody dishes before I do anything. So, I'm doing a massive outing tomorrow, so I'm just going to have a rest today. Like, not totally do nothing completely, but just don't do much, because I'll be doing a massive outing tomorrow. That's it. It'll be good fun. And then next week I just get online shopping and I get to save up a whole heap of pension money, because I need to save up pension money, I have to save it. Yogurt. Oh, not my lollies. There's peanut butter there. I need to get rid of that meal. It's not good. Good meal anymore. Yes. That little bag. No, that's. That meal will be no good. Oh my god. Put that in the sink. I don't make a lot of frozen meal anymore because I know that they're going to go to waste. So I do not make lots of frozen meals anymore. I know what's likely to happen. I know what's likely to happen. So I'm very cautious with not making a frozen meal. You know, if I'm going to have something to eat, it'll be something I make today and finish eating it tomorrow. Because I know it's not going to work out. is slowly running low on stuff. That's great news. Oh, I need to get rid of them because they're going to fucking go rotten anyway. Jesus. What is that? Have to get rid of stuff out the fridge. Have to clean up. Have to really clean up. I'll be doing that tonight. Oh yeah, I have to do that tonight because tomorrow I've got cleaning at 4 and I'll be home here by 3:45. God, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to take a lot of water with me tomorrow. A lot. Oh my God, I don't want to get sick and die. It won't be like immediate, it will be like I'll be running around all day and then I'll end up really thirsty by the afternoon. So I can't deny water all day long just because it's convenient not to have to look for a drink. You know, if I did that long enough, I'd die. I wouldn't live. I'd end up in the emergency area of the hospital getting dehydration treatments because I'm too dumb to actually get some water and drink it, you know? I'm too bloody dumb. So I'll need to drink throughout the day tomorrow. Have to buy more white sugar. I might even have sugar in the fridge, but I can't remember. Jesus, have to find out now. I do. But yeah, we'll just have to see what we got. I'll have to see what we got. We've got lovely cold milk in the fridge, that's good. I'm glad I get Paul's Smarter white milk because it's just normal milk that's been homogenised. Full cream milk seems to have all the cream on the top, so you just get a strong milk flavour without the cream in it. So I thought I would just get Paul's Smarter white milk because then I can be bloody sure that I'm getting what I actually pay for, which is expensive, but in any case, yeah, God. Next week will be online shopping, so that'll be good news. I get to have $2.20 worth of milk instead of bloody $5 worth of milk. Coffee. Yum. Yeah, what am I actually going to have for toast? Oh, I've got stuff everywhere. Oh yeah, I've got to remember to ring Vodafone. Shit. If I ring them today, then they'll have plenty of time to make an extension. The other thing that I'm liking about saving my money now is the more investment I make into my home life in my unit. This is what people don't understand. The more investments I make for my unit, the less I have to spend otherwise. You know, I might go out and spend $100 on an outing, but when I don't have anything else to buy at home, like I don't have any other home improvements to buy, yeah, it's cheaper in the long run because then I don't have to spend, when I'm at home, I don't spend any money except for maybe buying a meal once a week with Uber Eats, like noodles or Red Rooster or something. And I don't have to even buy takeaway once a week. I can buy it once a fortnight or once a month. I don't have to buy takeout. Because then the money I don't spend on investments like a new mop or anything I need at home, that money can be spent on fresh fruit, fresh veggies, I might be able to buy a new Apple book, an iBook that I can keep forever and ever and ever and read it over and over again. You know, I can read that book over and over and over again. And it's a good investment. It's a very good investment. So I figure, why not, you know? And then by the time I've saved thousands of dollars, I can get a new iPhone, I can get a new iPad. I can buy it all slowly so it's not all in one go. But I'll be able to get new clothes anytime I need them. Yeah, I'll be able to buy whatever I need. Oh, I still haven't made a decision about what I'll eat for breakfast. Still haven't made a choice. God, I don't know. If I'm going to make the choice of having toast, I might as well get the butter out in that now. So that's what's going to happen. I'm having peanut butter on toast. So of course I'm going to want the butter out. And then when I get the bread, then I'll wait for a little while. Then I'll get out the peanut butter. So I'll wait for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Then get the peanut butter out. And then leave that for a few minutes. Then I'll set up the toaster. Yeah. Because you get sick of cereal after a while. You just get sick of it. You're really sick of it after a while. And then those containers are pretty airtight. That cereal will last another week or two in the containers. Or maybe another 4 weeks actually. I've got to fill that container up with all brand cereal. And then I'm pretty well set for life now until I need new cereal. Which if I buy one box of something that I like every month, you know, like, or every fortnight, it'll be like one fortnight will be cornflakes, another fortnight will be something else. That way I've always got different cereal. But yeah, I really thought I was going to cancel tomorrow's outing, and then I had a bit of a look at the internet and a bit of a look at Google Maps and thought, no, I'll still be able to get an outing going where I won't need to catch Uber. Because then when the support worker rang me up, he's typical of being a man. You've got to explain things to these blokes so they're like, oh, that's right. And then he said, clothing is expensive. I'm like, yes, and if your clothes wear out, what do you do then? You spend $300 instead of $60 once every 3 months on one outfit or one pair of jeans, instead of spending, say, $30 to, say, $70, you're spending $300 on a whole lot of clothes. And he goes, oh, that's right. It's like, when you explain it, they get it. Yes, it's expensive, but if you go to the shops and just buy one top or 2 pairs of jeans with 1 or 2 tops, you're spending nearly $80. And then in 3 months' time, you might only spend $40 or $50. But if you wait for a whole year and then say, I need to get 6 pairs of jeans, you're going to spend $400 on clothing. Like, instead of buying 6 pairs of jeans all at once, buy them every 3 months. So you're getting four outfits per year. So you're spreading $300 out over the whole year, and then it makes it cheaper. Then you're only spending, oh no, it is about $300 a year, but you're spreading it out. And when I explain that, yeah, the support worker's like, oh, that's true, that's right. It's like, well, these are the things that you got to work out. I'm not going to wait until next October and go, oh, I didn't get any clothing, I'm running out of good clothes. Yes, spend $400. Like, I'm not doing that. Oh, God. So yeah, if I extend my Vodafone bill tonight, I'll be today I'll be able to actually go to Helensvale tomorrow and spend all day out and be totally exhausted, totally buggered. Yeah, and then I'll probably go outside and lie down on the balcony floor, like physically lie down, rather than sit down. I'll be doing that tomorrow night because I'll want to go to my bed, but then I'll want to be outside. I can't take my bed outside, so I'll just go and lie down outside with my brow display. Oh dear, I'm glad I'm just going to have toast today. I'm going to be totally fucking exhausted tomorrow night. I'll probably do recordings while I'm out, and then do another recording tomorrow night to let everyone know how I'm going. It'll be like an audio diary, I believe. Yeah. Oh, and the other good news is, I'm happy with how someone's going. Spoke to them last night. I'm quite happy how they are. Very happy with how they're going. I do get really worried from time to time. I know, like, it's for them, it's just, if people get their own space, everything's fine. But for me, it's like, if you're an outsider looking into someone else's life, hearing everything people say and that, it's a different story. It's like, oh no, I hope that getting your own space actually means you're okay. It doesn't mean anything serious. Because it's hard to tell, just by assuming that people are fine. Once I get told that they're okay, I'm like, oh, alright, well, I don't know. I can't tell. I don't have a clue what's going on. So that's what I got worried about. But yeah, no, apparently someone is doing fine. So with having a few bad days here and there, they're still fine at the moment, so I'm really glad. eventually, when it comes to my blog, eventually I'll be making it public when something occurs in this complex where I'll be able to make my blog public again. I can't say too much, but what I can say is that something needs to change before I make my blog totally public again. So currently my blog site is private, so if people want to join my website, they've got to they can type in the URL for my website, and then they can, I think there's a send request or something link or a button or something, and you got to tap that or select that, whatever you do, and then I'll get a notification saying that someone would like to join my blog site, and then I have to either click on allow or decline or deny or whatever it says. So that's how it's set up at the moment. When I make it public, anybody will be able to read my blog site again. Anybody. Now, something needs to occur at this complex for me to be able to make my blog public. It's due to something happening which someone decided to take advantage of in order to stalk me and micromanage my life. So, due to some things that this person decided to, instead of instead of just minding their own business, they made an accusation claiming that my blog post wasn't honest, but then their accusation about me wasn't honest either. So someone accused me of writing a dishonest blog post without asking questions as to why I would say what I said. It went from being totally dishonest to you need to tell me what your issues are, which I skirted around the issues because the way this person was being very unfriendly, I thought, no, they don't deserve to hear what I've got to say. So I vaguely mentioned what was happening without mentioning any people's names or anything. I vaguely mentioned that, I've started resolving issues between me and another person without saying what they are. And to top it off, this person never responded back to me. So now I don't know what their actual response is, whether they approve or disapprove of what I wrote or wrote to the person. Which technically means that they're micromanaging me because they didn't have the heart or the guts to write back and say that they appreciated my concerns as well and that they'd like to have a discussion with me or whatever the case. In which case I can only say no if I don't agree with it. This is what people don't understand. If they want to have a discussion with me, I can either say yes or no. If you're too scared to ask me to discuss things with you, this is to do with this particular person, then don't write an intimidating, threatening email. And it's threatening because, first of all, I have the right to write whatever I want in my blog so long as I'm not posting the exact location of, the particular complaint that I'm talking about. So if you don't post phone numbers, if you don't post addresses, and if you don't post first and last names, and if you don't post specific apartment numbers or anything like that, or the gender of the people, if you just try to keep people anonymous, you don't write things like, oh, I don't like, I'm just going to make up some names. You don't write things like, I don't like Zoe from Unit 11. You don't write that sort of stuff in a blog. You write things like, I don't like it when one of my neighbours who lives near me does this or that, or there's somebody who lives 2 floors up from me and I don't want them to be really noisy, or I want to keep having coffee with the person who lives in the other block of units which is across from me. Like, you don't write, anything specific. You just write, things without being too accurate with locations and whatnot. It's the same with when I'm doing audio recordings. I don't say specific names of specific people. I just say I'm glad that someone's okay, and I was worried about them for a while, and it's good that they needed their own space, but they still got me worried for certain reasons and that, because of things that were said and that. But I'm fine that they're okay, so that's good. That's how I mention that, So yeah, this person is, as in this person who wrote me a nasty letter, he's a stalker, as in they are a stalker, and they also do whatever they can to micromanage all tenants. So when they leave, I'll be making my blog public again, so that'll be good. Yeah, that'll be excellent. The reason I don't have a public blog is because most people who read it will just mind their own business and say, oh, that's just your opinion, or I don't really agree with what you said, but oh well, too bad. And people who don't like my blogs will unfollow me, or they'll unfollow me, they'll just not read my blogs anymore, whatever, But this person, they go out of their way to, what if it's not a he, it could be a she as well. They go out of their way to stalk what residents here are doing. And if they do not like what people are saying or what people are doing, they will micromanage that with a warning letter and say, oh, I've decided that you can't have a group of people congregating downstairs because I don't like their ethnicity, or I don't like their religion, or I don't like their gender orientation. That's what they do. So once they're gone, I'm going to make my blog public again. I don't have parties in my unit, a big party, because I know that the person would find out about it and write me a letter saying, oh, you're not allowed to have more than, say 5 people in your unit or whatever, without property management approval, which that's a violation of privacy. It's a violation of privacy. And if I do get into any difficulties again, I'll be hiring a lawyer and setting up a lawsuit. Because I'm not going to tolerate any shit from anybody. And I will, if someone smacks me, I'm going to smack them back 10 times harder than what they've done at me, because I will not be told how I will or will not live. I will not be told what to do. I will not be told who I will or will not be as a person. I will not be told who I am or how I feel or how I think. Absolutely not. So I will create as much difficulty for people who cause me any trouble for them, so that they will have nothing to do with me ever again. You know, you as in anybody, cause difficulty for me and you'll be bloody sorry for it. Because I believe in an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and I believe in retribution and revenge. You know, if you're going to hurt me, I'm going to do it back. I have every right to get even with people. That's just the way of the universe. An eye for an eye. That's what I'm going to do. It's my life, and I won't have people telling me what I will do to fix my life. I don't have to do anything. Throat. Damn it. This is why lots of people think, oh, you're sick, you should stay home when you're sick. It's like, don't judge me, you don't have a clue what's wrong. I could be just like a dust allergy or like a throat issue. That's just me, you know, how my body plays up, you know. So don't judge me and claim that I'm going to give everyone else my germs, because that's the first thing that's going to do is break a deal with a lot of people. Like, I'm not going to put up with people judging me over, oh, everything you do is going to make us sick. It's like, okay, I don't want you to have anything to do with me then. See you later. You don't like me, you don't have to have anything to do with me. And then as soon as the excuse is, oh, I do like you, I just don't like you spreading germs, like, well, you spread germs too, so don't go acting like a hypocrite at me, because that's going to be the first thing that makes me tell you to ping off out of my life. Everybody spreads germs, not on purpose. It's just that we all have our own bag of shit to deal with in life, and we all spread different things. Unless it was something that the doctor said, oh, you got to stay home because it's dangerous for you and for everyone else. Like, there's a difference between just going out when you're really sick and being stupid about it, and like going out when you're just a little bit under the weather. And a lot of people get offended at me. I just say, excuse me, I already have a medical doctor. He judges my life, thank you very much. He judges what happens in my life, not everybody else. Well, do I offend a lot of people when I say that? I'm like, well, I've already got one doctor. I don't need 10 other people to give me their opinions as well when they, you know, when you guys don't do my tests. It's up to the doctor. And if you want me to go to the doctors, you write a complaint. You write a letter to the doctor and you complain about me, because that's your problem. As soon as other people request me to do something, I know it's their problem, because they're the ones having a problem with me. I don't have a problem with them, right? So, yeah, I don't like it when people think they can manipulate my life to suit them when I've already got a medical doctor who manipulates things to make my life healthy. I don't need other non-qualified ashats telling me how I'll fucking deal with life. It's not going to happen. Oh well, God, it's fucking hot today. It's really hot. I'm sweating and I've got my air conditioner on 20 degrees and I'm still sweating. God, Jesus. But yeah, I cannot wait to get out of bed early in the morning and go to the bloody Gold Coast. It'll be fun. It'll be freaking awesome. It will be freaking awesome. But yeah, some of my controversial ways of living life are offensive to people. It's like, well, I'm living in my unit. No one tells me how to change my life while I'm living here. No one comes into my unit and forces me to do anything differently, because I'll just say yes, okay, and then go along with it. And then when they go, I just go back to how I used to be. Like, I'm not going to make my life different to make other people feel better. You know, if you don't like how I live in my unit, then don't come in here. And that goes for everybody. I don't just mean just specific people. I mean like anybody. If they don't like the way I live, then leave. It's my unit. I will not be told how to live in my space. Never. Absolutely never. The only time that ever changes is when the police or the paramedics turn up and all they're doing is rescuing me from situations or keeping me alive. Well, they have to do something. So, you know, when they're gone, I can go back to how I used to be. So, yeah. But nobody ever changes how I live in my unit. I don't care if there's a drought. I don't live to make everyone else comfortable in my place. Like, if people are over here, they've got to be comfortable as well. But I don't think to myself, oh, there's a drought, I need to use less water, because I'm only thinking about me. I don't care about everyone else, I only care about me. But as soon as people come to my unit, I'll make sure they have water and food and whatever else they need. You know, people have to eat and drink. But when it comes to drought conditions and like using less water, no, fuck yeah, I'll use as much water as I like, and I don't, you know, need to do what anyone else thinks. I'll use whatever water I like in this unit. I don't care about everyone else's opinion about me. I don't give a shit. I know when I showed disregard, I can't mention any names, but when I show disregard to what I'm told to do in my unit, I get in huge amounts of trouble. I just say yes, okay, and then continue with what I'm doing, and it's like, yeah, I know how to follow instructions, so I follow instructions, but in my unit, I'll do whatever the fuck I like. Well, I get in massive trouble. I get in huge amounts of bloody difficulty then. And I get this religious, godlike, crappy biblical thing about, what about everyone else who needs to drink water? You're not the only person who drinks water. Well, yes, I am. I'm the only one who lives in here, so yeah, I'm the only person who needs to drink water. Sorry, fuck off, I don't care. The water is going to get run low and everyone else is going to have no water because of you. It's like, that's good, because that's not my fucking problem, is it? Isn't my problem. So, the only problem that's my problem is what's happening in my unit right now. Man, if I say something to a couple of people, I get shot down in flames and treated like I should live in a psychiatric facility for being so selfish and inconsiderate and uncaring and thoughtless to everyone else. It's like, well, I don't care. God, water can be replaced anytime. I don't worry about it. There's no point. And I've got a water purifier there. I'm sure it will come in useful. And if I have to boil that water, you just bloody put purified water in the goddamn jug and boil the bloody shit. Nothing to worry about. So, yeah. Sorry guys, but if I get into heaps of trouble because I choose to live how I want to live in my unit and it's cruel and tyrannical and it's very nasty and inconsiderate, well, sorry. Don't come over then. Don't come over. I can't say that to a couple of people because if I do, I'll end up getting banned from guide dogs, I believe. I'll end up getting banned from services. So I'm not prepared to go out of my way to reject, if you don't like how I live my lifestyle, please leave. Like, that's not only rude, it's very, it's not only rude and inconsiderate to the person, it's horrible for their job, because the job is for them to come over here and help me out, and they have their opinions that I don't agree with. It doesn't suit me to live that way, the way they would live. That's fine, but I don't have to insult their occupation as well as their character, So there is a fine line between saying, yes, okay, sorry, I, probably do use too much water, because I probably do. But there's a fine line between that and saying, oh, well, if you don't like how I live, how I, act in my unit, you can leave. It's like, okay, they're here to do a job, to help me, to be friendly to me and that. They're not here to argue about disagreements. They're just here to make things work while they're here. And then when they leave, they're not responsible for me anymore. So I just work with that, because I don't want to get in huge amounts of trouble. Oh, God. So, but to anyone else who's not doing a job, it's like, hey, if anyone comes over, they have to be comfortable. It's like a contradiction where I say, if you don't like it here, leave. But I also don't want people to be uncomfortable either. So, yeah, so it sort of goes both ways. It goes both ways. Oh God. And some things that I do are moral issues as well. Like, I do things based on, I don't care if it's immoral or if it is a moral thing, where immorality is not a concern to me. It is, like if you go to the shops, like when someone told me about a little kid who got dried fruit on a scooper thing in the scoop and weigh section, ate the stuff with their, like licked it off the scoop and then put it back in. That is totally disgusting. Like, you don't do that. That's just gross. Yuck. Ugh. And the kid's mum was not around. Ooh, that's just terrible. So yeah, you don't go that far. As for immorality, you know, I don't measure my life based on morals. I do, like, you go to the shops and you need to smell, like, you don't want to smell like BO. You need to be presentable. Like, I'm not going to, for example, not shower tonight and not have a shower in the morning and go out all stinky tomorrow. Like, that's pretty disgusting. You've got to have a shower before you go out. You know, there's certain things you stick by, you know, to live in society. But as for morality in general, you know, I live how I want to live and I'm not affecting anyone else and I don't care. So they're the things that would get me in lots of trouble if I told people, look, if you don't like my values and beliefs that I hold to when I live here, please go. You know, I don't need other people of different values forcing me to change how I choose to live in this unit. Like, it's just a fucking mute topic. We all have different opinions and different ideas, and we can't just get rid of people because they don't like us. You know, if someone doesn't like you and they say, oh, I want you to turn the tap off because you're using too much water, and yet that's my habit, is to use up a lot of water every day, well, some people don't like it, and when they're in your unit helping you out, they want to be comfortable, so you have to make them comfortable, you have to make yourself comfortable. And when they drone on about religion and philosophy and all that, you just think, okay, that's your opinion, I won't argue today. I won't argue with it, you know. And it causes tension, but you just think, okay, that's how they live, that's how they work, that's how they were brought up, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's still pretty fucked up, but like, I'm not going to cause dramas over someone having a different opinion. Like, if someone pushes their opinions onto me, it's like, oh, they'll only be here for a few hours, who cares? You know, whatever. Just let it go. Because if I had it my way, I wouldn't have, like, I don't mind that people have different opinions, but it's when they, like, force their beliefs onto me that I don't like. So if I had it my way, I probably wouldn't have anybody coming into my unit unless it's like a couple of friends that I've got, you know, and you know who you are. I'd have you guys come into my unit, you know who you are. There's another person I have on Twitter, Stephanie, I'd let you come in. There's a few people I would allow in. We all have different values, we all hold to different opinions. I still think people need to be comfortable. Like, if they're not comfortable with my habits, then I'll just hold my habits aside until everyone goes home. Like, I can't make everybody uncomfortable, you know. So it's one thing to make people uncomfortable, and there's another thing to be forced into adopting different beliefs that I don't have, you know. Like, it's two different stories. So I'm not going to make everyone uncomfortable. But I'm also not going to get into massive amounts of trouble over fighting with people who think they can come into my unit, force me to accept that my values are wrong. It's like, well, okay, instead of getting in trouble, I'll just say, okay, fair enough. Because I could just say, well, fuck off then, my values aren't wrong. We don't all have to hold to the same values, and so if I'm selfish, that's not your business anyway. Like, I don't need to make those comments, especially when people are just trying to help me with other things. I don't have to make snide comments and that at people. You know, if if I'm considered selfish and nasty and need to change for them, well, that's never going to happen, but I'm also not going to argue either. You know, like if I'm put into the situation where I'm pressured to change what I say or change what I do, it's like, I'm not even going to say, okay, I'll do that when you're here. Like, that's just rude anyway. I just say, oh, okay, well, thanks for letting me know. Really, when the people or when the person goes, it's like, yep, back to the old lifestyle. You know, I'm pretty bad. I'm pretty freaking bad. Oh, God. The only thing that I can understand judgment and pressure to change is, I can't really say too much personal stuff about it, but, oh God, I have to go soon too, because I've got to ring bloody Vodafone. Yeah. Anyway, and I've got to make breakfast. I'll do that after I ring Vodafone, and then I'll come back into another recording. Maybe. I'll see how I feel. Anyway, there's a few things that I've said to the pharmacist that I think is okay, is what it is. And then I find out that it's not right, as in, they're not just giving me any religion or pagan history ideas or anything. I'm literally pressured into changing how I treat my body because, you know, we all do whatever we want to do with our own body and we know what's best for our own body. But if there's something that is surely dangerous or like just not safe or not likely to do any benefit or is actually going to cause physical pain or physical injury, the pharmacist has to be able to know what is okay and what isn't. So they have to be able to say, well, you can, I'm not going to say too much, but you can adopt this method of treatment, but I think you're going to hurt yourself too much. How about we try this instead? And you can use your hands to apply the medication treatments to your body instead of using an applicator to apply the medication. You'll be less injured. You'll be less likely to injure yourself. Just don't use your fingernails, allow your fingernails to contact any part of your body. Like, what they're doing is saying, don't change how you live, just change a few things, how you treat yourself, basically. Because there's just some things that if I was allowed to get away with it, I'd probably end up in hospital with surgery, getting stitches, or anything could happen. And then the pharmacist will get into massive trouble for allowing me to treat myself, thinking, yeah, it's fine, it's okay, and then I get really sick or injured. If the pharmacist just tells the truth from the outset and says, oh, there's two ways of doing this treatment, the way you were saying is probably going to harm you, so no, we can't let you do that, but there is another similar treatment that does the same thing, but you don't have to put an applicator anywhere into your body. You just use you wash your hands with soap and water, dry them really well on a clean towel or something that, you know, you're not going to have infection like germs built up on your hands, because you have to, so you don't get sick, and then adopt the same treatment but not with a syringe or applicator. Then you don't hurt yourself. Sometimes they have to change how I do things to look after myself, because if they don't, I will end up really crook. Like, that's not changing my values or beliefs, that's changing certain ways of doing things to lessen sickness or injury. Now, I can understand all of that, you know, I can totally understand that sort of judgment, because imagine if I was allowed to just do anything I wanted to, I'd fucking end up in the hospital soon enough, you know. And like when I was talking to someone last night, you know, they have to have treatments that stops them from going to the hospital. I actually said, look, it's good that you know how to control what you're doing, because You know, if you've got to go to the hospital to get the doctors to fix something that you could do at home, why not find out in the hospital, which they did. They found out what they needed to do to get themselves feeling well again. No details, just that's all I'm going to say. Feeling well again, because it's not nice. And I said, look, isn't it nice that you can now do the same thing at home with your medical treatments? That you don't even need the ambulance or ER doctors and that to teach you or help you or whatever. You know when to apply the treatments. I'm not going to say how or what happens. I'm not saying anything, but the person knows how to apply the correct treatment when, at what time and that. I'm not explaining it properly because I'm not going to explain it properly. I will not explain it properly. I will not. I'll just say that if there's any confusion, that you'll just have to ask what it means without me saying anything here. So yeah, it's good that this person knows how to apply this treatment. They know when they aren't feeling well, which I'm not giving an explanation to that because it's, but the person knows when they're starting to feel unwell and they know when to apply the treatment properly, so they no longer need help in the hospital setting, which is really good. And that's what the hospitals are there for. So if you really are stuck, you get help and then you learn how to help yourself. There's a few things the pharmacist has had to tell me that was pretty gross, pretty disgusting, because I think everything I'm doing is okay to look after myself, and apparently no. Ugh. But I'm way heaps better and on track with my health now, so apparently this other person's doing a lot better with their own health, so that's good. But as for me, yeah, if it comes to how you look after your health and that, it's good to have to change things sometimes to make your health better. But as for values and beliefs, rather than get myself into huge amounts of trouble by telling people to fuck off, I just let people say what they need to say. Just let people work how they work in my unit. Just let people do things their way. And then when they leave, I just do whatever. I just do whatever makes me happy then. Because it's yeah, I don't if it's just anyone, I would just say, well, sorry mate, but you can't make me adopt different values. You're in my place. If you don't like my rules, then go. But if it is a professional person and they're saying similar things, it's whatever. We'll just work with the status quo while the professional is here. And when they leave, I then go back to my old house rules, which I'm not super strict. I need to be pretty clean just to know that I know where everything is and there's not too much mess to clean up and that, which is awesome. Yeah, I'm quite happy so far. Don't know if I'll go to my psychologist next year or not. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. I do not have a clue. Don't know. Do not have the faintest idea. Yeah, yep. Other than that, there's nothing else for me to say at the moment other than to ring up Vodafone and get my fucking bill organised, which I have to do that. Have to get my fucking bill worked out. God. I reckon they'll let me extend it to next week, because then I'll just say, a couple of financial commitments when they're away, and I'll be okay for next week. It'll be that simple. And they'll go, yes, we can extend your bill, yes. And I'll be like, yay, yay. Oh, I'm so fucking happy about that. So, I'm done with my coffee. I'm done with this discussion, and I will be back later. I haven't made a decision as to whether I'll be cooking sausages or what I'll be doing later. You'll probably find out later when I do another recording. And then I'm realising I could be recording playing games on my bloody laptop as well. I could be doing that too. So, we'll just have to see what happens.